People spend their whole lives waiting. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, the perfect conditions. But let me tell you something. The perfect moment does not exist. If you sit back and wait, life will pass you by. When I came to Hollywood, they looked at me and saw a man who didn't fit their idea of a leading actor. They said, "Your accent is too strong. Your look is different. You won't succeed here." If I had believed them, I would have disappeared into the crowd, just another person who gave up before they even started. But I refused to wait for someone to approve of me. I refused to let others decide what I was capable of. Instead, I took action. I built my own way. I trained harder, learned faster, and pushed beyond every obstacle in my path. I knew that if I didn't take control of my future, no one else would. This is the truth. No one will ever hand you success. No one will ever say, "Now you are ready. Now is your time." You have to claim it for yourself. You will never feel fully prepared. You will never have all the skills, all the knowledge, all the confidence. But the people who succeed are the ones who move forward anyway. They take the first step, even when they are afraid. They learn as they go. They grow through the struggle. If you keep waiting, the years will pass, and one day, you will look back and wonder why you never started. But if you take action now, even if you stumble, even if you fail, you will be ahead of the ones who are still waiting for permission. The world does not pause for you. It keeps moving. And if you don't move with it, you will be left behind. So stop waiting. Stop doubting. Stop thinking, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. The only moment you have is now. Make it count. There is a painful truth that most people will never accept. If you do not break yourself, life will break you. Those who fear struggle, who avoid discomfort, who run from hardship, will never know what true strength feels like. I did not become who I was because I had an easy path. I became Bruce Lee because I pushed myself beyond my limits, beyond the point of exhaustion, beyond what my mind and body thought was possible. I broke myself again and again, and each time I rebuilt myself stronger. Most people want to grow, but they fear the pain that comes with it. They want to be strong, but refuse to go through the struggle that creates real power. They want success, but they are not willing to destroy the version of themselves that is holding them back. You must be willing to break. When I trained, I did not stop when I was tired. I stopped when my body had nothing left, when every muscle screamed, when every breath felt like fire in my lungs. That is when I knew I was growing. Pain was not my enemy. It was my teacher. When I studied martial arts, I did not settle for one style. I broke everything I had learned, tore apart the rules, and built something new. Something faster, stronger, more powerful. I shattered the limits of what martial arts was supposed to be, and in doing so, I created something the world had never seen before. But breaking yourself is not just about physical strength. It is about your mind, your ego, your fears. Most people are trapped by their own beliefs. They think, "I can't do this. I am not smart enough. I am not strong enough." But these are lies. Lies that you tell yourself because you are afraid of what happens when you step beyond what is comfortable. You must destroy these thoughts. You must break the old version of yourself. The one that is full of doubt, the one that hesitates, the one that makes excuses. Only when you break that version can you rebuild into someone unshakable, someone who is no longer controlled by fear. Think of fire. When metal is placed in fire, it does not weaken. It does not break apart. It becomes something stronger. A sword is not made in comfort. It is forged in heat, beaten, folded, and shaped by force until it becomes a weapon. You must do the same to yourself. Break the bad habits that keep you stuck. Break the excuses that stop you from moving forward. Break the fears that whisper in your mind. Break the weakness that holds you back. And when you do, you will not be broken. You will be unbreakable. No one else will do this for you. No one else will push you. You must step into the fire willingly. It will hurt. It will test you. But if you survive it, if you endure, you will come out the other side as something new, something unstoppable. This is why so few people succeed, because they are not willing to go through the fire. They stay in comfort. They avoid struggle. And because of that, they remain fragile, unable to handle the weight of life when it comes crashing down. But you are different. You are not meant to stay the same. You are not meant to be ordinary. You are meant to rise, to transform, to become something greater than you ever imagined. So ask yourself, are you willing to break? Because if you are, then nothing in this world can stop you. Most people think strength is the key to power. They train their muscles, build their bodies, and believe that the strongest always win. But I learned a different truth. Strength alone is not enough. The world does not belong to the strongest. It belongs to the fastest. When I fought, I did not rely on brute force. I relied on speed. My opponents were bigger, stronger, heavier, but they could not touch me. Why? Because I moved before they even realized what was happening. Before they could react, the fight was already over. Strength is predictable. It is slow. It depends on force, on impact. But speed is different. Speed is a weapon. It is intelligence in motion. Most people think speed is only about physical movement, but it is much more than that. Speed is in the mind. Speed is in decision-making. Speed is in how quickly you adapt, how fast you respond to life's challenges. Think about the world today. The people who succeed are not always the strongest. They are the ones who move first, the ones who see an opportunity and take it before someone else does, the ones who do not wait, do not hesitate, do not waste time overthinking. If you are too slow to act, someone else will take your place. If you are too slow to adapt, the world will leave you behind. When I trained, I did not just train for power, I trained for speed. Every punch, every kick had to be faster than the blink of an eye. My body had to react before my mind even had time to think. Because in a real fight, thinking is too slow. Life is the same way. If you spend too much time thinking, you will miss your chance. If you wait too long to start something, someone else will do it first. If you hesitate, the moment will pass and it will never come back. So many people spend their lives preparing. They want to be ready before they take action. They want to have every detail figured out before they start. But while they are planning, someone else is already doing. And by the time they finally make a move, it is too late. This world rewards action. It rewards those who take risks, who make quick decisions, who do not let fear slow them down. Look at business, at technology, at history. The ones who changed the world were not always the strongest, but they were always the fastest. They saw where the world was going and got there before anyone else. They acted when others hesitated. Strength is a slow power. It builds over time. But speed is instant. It is the ability to see, to react, to move before anyone else even knows what is happening. This does not mean you should be reckless. Being fast does not mean being foolish. It means training yourself to act without hesitation, to think quickly, to make decisions, to adapt before the situation controls you. I trained my body for speed, but I also trained my mind. I learned to see the smallest movements of my opponent and react before they even finished their strike. I learned to sense danger before it arrived. I learned to trust my instincts because thinking was too slow. You must do the same. If you want to win in life, stop overthinking. Stop doubting. Stop waiting for everything to be perfect. Move, act, strike. While others are waiting, you will already be ahead. While others are preparing, you will already be winning. Because in the end, the world does not belong to the strongest. It belongs to the fastest. Most people spend their entire lives trying to fit in. They dress the same, speak the same, think the same. They follow the rules, obey the system, and hope that by blending in, they will succeed. But let me tell you something. The world does not remember those who fit in. It remembers those who stand out. From the moment I entered the martial arts world, I knew I was different. People wanted me to follow tradition, to fight the way others had fought for centuries. But I refused. I did not want to be another fighter. I did not want to be just another name in history. I wanted to create something that had never existed before. And so, I broke the rules. I studied every fighting style I could, but I did not follow any of them completely. Instead, I created my own. I took what worked and threw away what didn't. People told me, this is not how martial arts should be. They laughed at me, they criticized me, but in the end, they watched me. They learned from me, and they followed me. This is the truth. If you are not different, you are invisible. Look at the most successful people in history. The greatest minds, the most powerful leaders, the most unforgettable legends. They were not the ones who followed the crowd. They were the ones who dared to be different. But standing out is not easy. It takes courage to go against the grain. When you choose a different path, people will doubt you. They will criticize you. They will tell you that you are wrong. Not because you are wrong, but because you make them uncomfortable. Most people are afraid to be different because they fear rejection. They fear being alone. But let me ask you, would you rather be one of many or one in a million? To stand out, you must create your own identity. You must refuse to be a copy of someone else. You must build something that is truly yours. If you are an artist, do not paint like everyone else. Create something that has never been seen before. If you are a fighter, do not fight like those who came before you. Build your own style, your own rhythm, your own power. If you are a thinker, do not accept what others tell you as truth. Question everything. Find your own answers. Most people are terrified of change. They cling to what is familiar, even if it limits them. But if you want to be remembered, you must be bold enough to break free. The world does not need another imitation. It does not need another person who plays it safe. It needs someone who dares to be original. When I came to Hollywood, they told me, Asian actors do not get lead roles. You should play side characters. You should speak differently, act differently, look different. I refused. I did not change to fit their mold. I made them change their mold to fit me. And that is why people still remember my name. Because I did not blend in. I did not follow the path that was given to me. I created my own. And now I ask you, what will you do? Will you spend your life being a shadow of someone else? Or will you break free and become something the world has never seen before? The choice is yours. But remember this, only those who stand out will ever be truly remembered. Most people believe power comes from speaking louder, moving faster, and taking more action. They think the ones who dominate the world are those who make the most noise. But they are wrong. True power does not come from talking, it comes from silence. When I was young, I learned that words can only do so much. People speak all the time, but how many actually listen? How many actually observe? How many actually understand? The world is full of noise. People rush to share their opinions, to argue, to prove themselves. But in all that noise, Real wisdom is lost. I chose to be different. When I walked into a room, I did not need to speak to be noticed. My presence alone was enough. My silence was more powerful than words, because silence forces people to pay attention. Silence makes people wonder. It makes them curious. It makes them respect you. Most people talk because they are uncomfortable with silence. They fear being alone with their own thoughts. They fill the air with words to hide their uncertainty. But a person who is comfortable in silence is a person who is truly in control. When I trained in martial arts, I did not just train my body. I trained my mind. I learned to watch my opponent, to listen to their breathing, to study their movements before they even attacked. I let them speak, let them reveal their strategy, while I remained silent, unseen, unreadable. In a fight, the loudest one is often the weakest, the one who boasts, who brags, who shows off. They rely on words to make up for their lack of real skill. But the one who is silent, who does not reveal their emotions, who does not give away their thoughts, that is the one to fear. Silence is a weapon. It allows you to stay calm when others panic. It keeps your emotions in check when others lose control. It makes your enemies uneasy because they do not know what you are thinking. But silence is not just about power over others. It is about mastering yourself. When you stop talking, you start hearing things you never noticed before. You hear the details, the whispers, the things hidden beneath the surface. You learn more in silence than you ever could by speaking. Think of nature. The most powerful things in the world move in silence. A tiger does not roar before it attacks. It waits in perfect stillness. A storm does not announce itself with noise. It gathers strength in silence before it strikes. The greatest minds in history were not the ones who spoke the most. They were the ones who listened, who observed, who understood before they acted. If you want to be truly strong, learn to hold your tongue. Do not speak out of anger. Do not react emotionally. Do not waste words trying to prove yourself. Let your actions speak louder than anything you could ever say. When people insult you, remain silent. Nothing frustrates an enemy more than someone who does not react. When others are panicking, remain calm. It will make you appear stronger than anyone in the room. When others talk just to fill the silence, stay quiet and listen. You will gain knowledge that they will never understand. The weak are loud, the strong are quiet. So choose wisely. Do you want to be just another voice in the noise? Or do you want to be the one who controls the room without saying a word? Because once you master silence, you master everything. Most people live and die without leaving a trace. They wake up, go through the motions, chase temporary pleasures, and then fade into history, forgotten as if they never existed. But there are a few, just a few, whose names never die. Their legacy continues long after they are gone. Their words, their actions, their presence still shape the world, even when they are no longer here. Do you know why? Because they earned it. When I was alive, I knew that time was short. I knew that every day I wasted was a day I would never get back. So I lived with intensity. I trained as if I had no tomorrow. I studied as if my mind was running out of time. I worked as if my legacy depended on it, because it did. Most people exist, but they do not live. They wait for opportunities instead of creating them. They dream of success, but never sacrifice for it. They speak about their ambitions, but do not act on them. And that is why they are forgotten. No one is remembered for what they wanted to do. They are remembered for what they did. A name that lasts forever is not built on words. It is built on action. The greatest mistake people make is thinking they have time. They tell themselves, one day I will start. One day I will change. One day I will do something great. But one day never comes. If you want your name to live beyond you, you must begin now. not tomorrow, not next year. Now, people ask me, Bruce, how did you achieve so much in such a short life? I tell them, I did not waste time. Every moment I was building, every moment I was improving. I did not wait for the world to recognize me. I forced the world to notice me. And that is what you must do. If you want to be remembered, you must work while others sleep, train while others relax, push forward while others hesitate. You must stand for something. A person who stands for nothing disappears the moment they are gone. But a person who changes lives, who inspires, who creates something new, that person never dies. Your name will not last because you want it to. It will last because you made it impossible to forget. History remembers warriors, thinkers, leaders, revolutionaries, not those who played it safe. So what are you doing with your life? Are you living in a way that will leave an impact? Are you pushing yourself beyond what is comfortable? Are you creating something that will last beyond your final breath? Or are you just existing, waiting for time to run out? I did not live forever, but my name did. My words did. My philosophy did. Because I earned it. And if you want your name to live beyond you, if you want to be remembered, if you want your story to be told long after you are gone, then you must earn it too. So make your choice, live like everyone else and disappear. Or live with such intensity, such purpose, such fire, that the world will never forget you. If these words spoke to you, share them. And if you want to learn more, subscribe, because your journey to greatness has just begun.